welcome back to my channel. Today I am filming my 16 and 17 week update. I hope you guys didn't miss me too much. I missed you guys. I didn't upload last week because during week 16 I did catch a cold, and on the day that I was going to film that video I caught pink eye, which really sucked. It was my first time having it. I've never had it and it just really sucked overall, so I had to go to the doctor and get some eye drops, and I was still sick, so I spent week 17 just trying to recover and get better, and so now I'm filming both. If you are new, welcome. I am documenting my second pregnancy, and I upload weekly updates about my pregnancy. And last week, like I said, I couldn't do it, so whenever I can't do it, I will just upload it that week along with the upcoming week. And I typically upload these on Mondays or Tuesdays. This one's gonna go up on a Tuesday because it's kind of late. I had a busy weekend. I'm sorry, but it is still going up. And so let's get right into the video. I have down that my boobs are growing. They're still kind of growing. They are tender, and I don't know how long that's gonna last. It's probably gonna last a while. But I have backaches down here, and that's happening early, I think, because I am smaller this time around than I was when I had Maddie. So I think that might be why I'm having backaches earlier. Last time I did have them towards the end, and it's obviously just the weight. It's the extra weight that you're putting on and you're not used to it. Can be for many other reasons, but I'm sure that's a big one. And I have down my Linea Negra. So my Linea Negra has began to show. I don't think it disappeared after I had Maddie, and it does disappear. So if you don't know what the Linea Negra is, it's the line that appears above your belly button. It's also below your belly button. Yeah. And it's just that line that you get. It's a really dark line above your belly. Like I said, I don't think it went away after I had Maddie. It does go away after you have the baby, and it does take time. So maybe it just was supposed to take more time. But I will say that below my belly button, I always had a faint line there. It got darker during my pregnancy, but I always had it there. And I honestly can probably even see one under Maddie's belly button. So I don't know if everyone is like that, or if maybe just I'm like that and that's why my daughter is. But I could swear that that line, at least below my belly button, not above it, but below that line, was always there. I could swear. If that's showing up for you guys, it's gonna get darker probably. I think for my skin complexion it's gonna be pretty dark, just because of my skin complexion. It can be different. I've seen girls with light skin have really dark Linea Negras. It'll just depend on your body, but don't be discouraged by it. It's normal and it'll go away after you have your baby. It'll take time, but it will go away. And I have down that I was sick, and which I already mentioned. During week 17 I have written down dryness, and that's because my hair has been pretty dry. And I could be because like I have dry ends and they're extra dry, but I feel like my hair has been a little extra dry. And I was also reading in my app, which is really interesting because I have read a lot in my app that has happened to me, and I noticed, but I never related it to my pregnancy. And I do now because I read about it, and it kind of answers the questions for me. But dryness around my face, I felt when I read about blotchy patches, and that can happen on your nose, on your cheeks, just basically anywhere. I think I'll have to go over and read it again, but I've definitely gotten blotchy patches on my face, And you won't be able to tell right now. These are just shadows that I'm getting in from the window. But you won't be able to tell right now because when I put my foundation on, it covers it. But when I don't have anything on, I've noticed this blotchy patch on the side of my face. And yeah, I guess that's just a pregnancy thing. Hopefully it goes away. It just looks like discoloration, and on somebody like myself, it shows, I can see it. It's very noticeable because of my skin complexion, and I don't know if any of you maybe haven't noticed because of your skin complexion, but that's something that just comes along with pregnancy, I guess. And it sucks, but oh well, just try to keep it moisturized. I think my moisturizer works pretty well for me. It's the Nivea face cream. That's all I use, honestly, on my skin. And it's very oily and moist. It's thick, and it just helps me out. I've always used it. And so that's what I use, and that's what I would recommend if you are feeling extra dry. Moving on, I have down dizziness and fainting. I didn't have that during week 17, but I read about it in my app, and I wrote it down because a couple of weeks ago, I didn't mention it in my update because I must have forgotten, but I experienced, I believe it was like my blood pressure just dropped, and I just couldn't see, and I felt kind of hot, really hot. I started to kind of just see black. My vision was just going away, and I didn't know what to do because I felt hot, and I was in the shower. And luckily, Alfredo and I were showering together, and he was there, which made it a lot better because it would have been 10 times more scarier if I were alone. I couldn't see. I could have fallen and hurt myself, and it was a lot better that he was there, and he kind of calmed me down. And it happened for about a minute or two. And I just sat down. I got out and sat down, drank some water, and I began to feel better. I began to feel better after that. And we knew that it was because of the pregnancy. He thought that I was dehydrated. I really don't think I was that day, but he also thought it was just the hot water from the bath. And I was going to call my doctor about it, but for some reason, I just knew that it wasn't something to be alarmed about. If it had happened again, if it had happened for a longer time, and if it had happened again and often, I would have been alarmed about it, and I would have reached out to my doctor about it, which I encourage if it has happened to you multiple times and it's intense. I would definitely reach out to your OB. Maybe it could be something more serious. But for me, I just felt like we knew that it was something that had to do with the pregnancy, and maybe something that could be considered normal, because a lot of crazy things can happen in pregnancy and they're basically just normal. Reading about it in week 17, I read that it's because of the increased blood flow now that you're creating a life. So that's why I think it happened to me. And like I said, I wasn't super alarmed because I just knew. I just felt like, oh, it's because I'm pregnant. Something. It's just one of those things that you go through. But yeah, I have down that I got tights. I bought maternity tights, but I mentioned that in my last video, and I will have them. If you haven't seen the video, go watch it. I'll link it up here. They're linked in that description, but I can also link them down in this description if you guys are interested in those maternity tights. I'm not wearing them today. I'm wearing regular tights that are getting pretty tight, but I'm just going to show you guys my belly and then close the video out. So, so this is what it looks like. Can you guys see? This is what my belly looks like. Oh, I've got an alarm. Alright, so this is what my belly looks like. If I lift up my boobs, you can kind of see how round it is. It's a lot rounder, which I love. So that's my belly. It's a lot rounder, which I love, because now when I wear tighter clothing, it just looks cute and I feel pregnant, which I love. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you're pregnant and want to follow along, subscribe and comment down below and let me know how far along you are and how you're feeling. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I'd be happy to answer them. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!